At Business Alchemy Unleashed, we share actionable information with female entrepreneurs to scale their business efficiently while building a community of women who keep it real and build boss businesses.
Welcome to Business Alchemy Unleashed. I'm Quinna Water, and this is my co-host, Charlotte Gold. And today we are going to be diving into time management and the ultimate system for productivity.
I am so excited about this topic. So it was, I think, 2 weeks ago on a Saturday. I was not planning, I was like getting ready to throw my 4-year-old's birthday party. And I was so overwhelmed with how many things that I needed to get done before I had this whole host of people showing up at my house. And out of nowhere, you sent me a video. You sent me this YouTube video about time blocking. And I feel like time management is something that you and I talk a lot about. And I literally was like, I'm going to watch this. I'm cleaning the kitchen right now. I'm going to unload the dishwasher and watch this video. And I think I text you in the middle, like even 2 minutes into like this 10-minute video. And I was like, this is going to change my life. So it was about time blocking. And I literally took 10 minutes after I watched the video to time block out that day and how I was going to get done everything that I needed to get done just to have everything ready for my daughter's birthday party. Like down to take a shower, have time to dry my hair, hang up the balloons, set out the cake, frost the cake, like all the things. And it literally took my day from a whole heap of stressful emotions to, oh, I got this. Like I can tackle this, no problem. And then once I time blocked that I did it in my Google Calendar on my phone, and I just time blocked all those different activities and how long that I thought that they would take. And I throw these big birthday parties for my kids all the time. I've been doing it for 16 years. I have never once gotten everything done in time for the birthday party. There's always a couple things that end up not getting done, which ends up fine because it's like not that big a deal. I got everything done with half an hour to spare. I was literally laying on the couch scrolling TikTok when my first guest showed up early. And I was just like, this is absolutely incredible. I have to implement this. And I think you and I talked about that for the rest of the weekend, this whole system. And I did, I'm very big on the power 2 hour, and I start my workday out with 2 hours where I'm just focusing on my business. I didn't even need to take a full 2 hours that Monday. I took an hour, I, a quick hour, you know what I mean? Like I was very busy that week at work. I had a lot of stuff going on, but I looked at my bigger tasks and what needed to get done, and I blocked out my week, and I was so productive. I got so much done that week. I literally got like 3 weeks worth of work done. Projects that I thought were going to take me so much longer, I got them done so fast. And I was just like, this is crazy. And I know that you're taking it a little bit of a step further because you're listing out your big major goals, right? And breaking them down into smaller bite-sized pieces and then scheduling you're scheduling out a little bit further than I am. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. And this has been something that has absolutely changed. I'm literally a week in, and it has completely changed how I approach my workday and how focused and diligent and productive I am. And I know that this is something I'm going to use for the rest of my life. And I wish that I had discovered it years ago because already, like, it's such a game changer. So what I started by doing is just breaking down all of my bigger goal projects into more actionable, like broken down tasks. So I took, say, one of the biggest ones is like finding clients. And then I broke that one down into what avenues I'm going to utilize for finding clients, like networking, paid advertising, social media posting, etc. And then from there, I actually broke down each of those specific strategies into goals that I broke down into time frames. So I was like, okay, I'm going to spend 2 hours, 3 days a week doing this recording. I'm going to spend this amount of time editing that. And then I just broke it down so that I could like choose what I wanted to get done in what time frame and then break it down so that it felt realistic. And I also had to add in like cook, go grocery shopping, like all of those other things as well. Cause sometimes that gets pushed to the side when I'm just like focused on work. So I feel like it really helped me to create like a a more holistic, just day-to-day plan in order to not only accomplish all of my business goals, but also accomplish all of my personal life goals and like self-care needs and just balancing that. So it's been, yeah, like I said, I think this is the most productive week I've maybe had in a long time because I'm not spending any time figuring out, okay, what am I doing next? I just look at my calendar and I'm like, oh, this is what I'm doing next. And this is what I'm going to do after that. And right now I'm going about 2 weeks out because I'm still kind of determining like how long it takes me to do each thing and how much like energy and capacity I have before I'm ready to like move on to a different, using my brain in a different way or from recording to editing or whatever it is that I'm doing on that project. But yeah, I just know that this has completely revolutionized my business and I just want to share it with everybody because it's so exciting.
I feel the same way. I feel like I'm gonna owe you like a debt of gratitude for the rest of my life for even bringing this to me, because it was 2 weekends ago that you first brought this to me. So I actually implemented this last week and literally had the most productive week in my business, on top of getting like 6 more new clients that I wasn't prepared for. So I was able to get so much done on top of onboarding, you know what I mean, all those new clients. And what was crazy too was just the little bit of momentum I got from just that one Saturday for the birthday party was like enough to get me through the next Monday. And then that moment, like the momentum just kept building. And now I'm, like 7, 8, 9, 10 days into it. And it's not going anywhere. It's like, this is an incredible system. I'm sure it doesn't work for every single person, but I am the same way. Like, I want to share it with everybody and I want to help people try to implement this. And so, like you, I don't have like my workday after, like, I'm sorry, after my workday, I don't have that all blocked out, like my cooking, clean, like whatever, shopping. But I started with my morning routine from the minute I wake up until about 4 o'clock. I have my whole morning routine worked out, which has helped me in the morning too, because I have a pretty good morning routine, but I have kids, so, there's different things you have to be a little bit flexible with, but it still helped me. And I got to tell you just a quick story yesterday. I had like all these different things working against me. And normally I would have been like, oh, I'll just screw it. Like, I'll just skip this whole thing and just like start fresh, like on the next thing. And I was like, no, 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 we're still going to do all of these things. Everything will just get pushed back an hour, which is no problem. Like, I have plenty of time worked in um, to, like make space for little emergencies or, just to have a little bit of flexibility. And I didn't do this last week, but you mentioned to me the other day that you are making sure that you schedule in breaks, which I hadn't been doing. So now I'm like, yeah, absolutely. You schedule your breaks, right? Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Because otherwise, it's so easy to just get so in the zone, especially when you enjoy what you're doing or you're doing stuff that there's a deadline in. You can just, hours will go by and you're like, wait, when was the last time that I took a drink of water or stood up and stretched or, just did something else? And so, yeah, I've been scheduling in like around 2 breaks a day, one in the morning and one later in the afternoon, and having a snack and just giving myself a moment to reset. And it's definitely, I think it's contributing to my overall productivity because I'm not having, the same burnout. And it's also giving me that, if I just want to like check my social media messages for 5 minutes or, text somebody. So it's like, it also kind of allows for those just spontaneous responses and different things that can sometimes just take hours throughout the day if you're not kind of allocating like time for it, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense to me because if I work, like you just said, if I get too in the zone on a big project or something, then by the end of it, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm so like mentally exhausted, right? And then I will get on my phone for a minute, and the next thing I know, it's an hour. An hour has gone by, and I've wasted an hour scrolling mindlessly, and it's just so unnecessary, and it's so anti-productive, right? So I love that idea. I have actually recently kind of implemented like a timer system. So I allow myself to do some mindless scrolling, but I set a timer for 10 minutes and I'm like, okay, we're done. Like, because it's important. I think like just as important as scheduling yourself some breaks, like it's important to also schedule some time for your mind to just not be thinking about anything serious. So, I would prefer to like be on a walk or, do a meditation, but sometimes it's nice to just mindlessly scroll. But So I love the idea too of scheduling some of that stuff in there just so that you really just end up with so much less wasted time. And for me, I was like, when I first started this, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I don't really want to schedule every minute of every day, which is why I didn't schedule my evening. And I was just thinking like, oh, I'm gonna get so burnt out. I'm gonna like, it's just too much. And it's not. I'm just like, I'm finding that at the end of the day, and I mean, I'm like, again, I'm only like 10 days in, right? But at the end of the day, I have so much more energy. Like I'm spending time with my kids, I'm spending time with my husband, I'm, preparing dinner and I'm able to get like chores done around the house. And I'm a happier version of myself because I'm not stressed out about all the stuff I have to do tomorrow because I already have it all scheduled out.
I think that it's so incredible. I feel the exact same way and I have more energy. And I think that part of it's because like we end up spending a lot of brain space on like what are we going to do? Like trying to plan out because I know for me like I kind of like to know what I'm expecting or what's expected of me or like how I'm going to accomplish, my bigger term and even shorter term goals in general. So I think once I kind of have that system and have it written down, then I'm not thinking about it, right? I have so much more extra space in my mind to just be present and do what's right in front of me. So it's, yeah, I didn't foresee like all the extra energy that I'm feeling and like the extra inspiration and motivation I'm feeling because it's given me this sense of like I can accomplish anything if I just break it down and clarify the steps that I need to take in order to get there. Like anything is possible, and I can also do it within a time frame that I create and set. Just the more specific that I get. So I think that it's definitely something that I think all entrepreneurs should at least experiment around with to see if it works for them.
Exactly. I love that so much because, especially as women, I feel like we carry so much mental load. And I think that we forget sometimes that the mental aspect of things takes a physical toll on us. And so at the end of the day, when we're so exhausted, we're like, I just sat at my desk all day. Like, how am I this tired? But it's a mental tired, right? But like you just said, if you're not worried about what you're doing, when you're doing it, how you're going to get it all done. I, I just don't even think until you've implemented a system like that, you even realize how much of a load off that is.
Absolutely. So why don't we encourage everyone listening today to go ahead and try to implement this, or not try to actually implement this time management, time blocking system into their own business. So choose the top goals that you want to accomplish, break them down even further into what you can put into your week, into your day, and then put it in your calendar and see how you feel. And then also we have an article we want to share as well. Charlotte, do you want to share that one?
Yeah, just our article on time management. And I would love for everyone to read that and we break it down a little bit more how to utilize this time blocking system. And I would love for just some feedback from everyone, even if you just take one big item from your to-do list this week and implement this system and like Quinna said, break it down into smaller goals and then break it down again into smaller bite-sized, items that are easily managed on a day-to-day to-do list. Let us know how you feel after day one, after day three, after day five. I would love to just see, how this is kind of working out for everybody.
Yes, we would love to hear that. And also, just to add to that, this article is not only on time management and time blocking, it also delves into how that is really laying the groundwork for scalability in terms of being able to then outsource and delegate and create systems and SOPs in your business, because then you have so much more clarity around what are you doing on a day-to-day basis in your business and what can you outsource, and it just kind of clarifies like everything that you're doing in general. So yeah, it's I highly recommend you check that out.
Thanks for joining us in today's episode of Business Alchemy Unleashed. If you enjoyed today's content, please rate and review us. If there's a specific topic you'd like us to cover, don't hesitate to leave us a comment below. Until next time.